This early morning, let's explore Shantideva's prayers and then meditate. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. This is the Lama you are looking for. This morning, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two. But first, if you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as profoundly as Ahsoka Tano on Lothal, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. If at any time during this morning's live stream you have a question about Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or how to apply them to your life, do not be shy. Simply type your question in great detail in the chat window as soon as that question weighs heavy on your heart. Do not wait till the end of the live stream, for by then I shall be pooped and my brains will have transformed into oatmeal. Shantideva was a great Mahayana teacher of India, from India. His most famous composition is the Bodhicharya Vatara, the Way of the Bodhisattva. His 10 prayers are an extract from the 10th chapter of that composition. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, receive an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. So he's saying is whatever good karma he's generated through recitation and meditation, may others benefit from it. Not just spiritually, but physically as well. And this is important. Many people wish others well, but with strings attached. May they be happy, not physically, but spiritually. May they be happy, but only if they deserve it by doing what I think and say is right. He's giving all of humanity, he's giving all of living beings everywhere carte blanche, a blank check. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by sorrow. So, may no one ever commit evil. May no one ever be harmed by the evil of others. May no one be beat up by their own body, their own neurochemistry. As long as there's been humanity, there's been a percentage of humanity struggling with depression. Another way to put it is everybody has tasted of depression. It is not being sad. It is a set of psychological symptoms due to physiological causes. And just as you would be foolish to look down on someone for being myopic or astigmatic or presbyopic, it would also be foolish to look down on someone simply for having some form of gut dysbiosis or systemic inflammation that is causing these set of symptoms. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil receive rest and be restored. So the author is free of the self-righteous delusion that those who suffer deserve to suffer because of karmic debts. He's not talking about that. The only time that Buddha talked about causality was internal things, the way the body affects the feelings, the way the feelings affect our appraisal, the way appraisal affects our impulses, the way our impulses affect our awareness. So when you find a teacher who uses something that sounds like karma as a justification to oppose empathy, no, find a better teacher. May the naked receive clothing, the hungry receive food, may the thirsty receive water and delicious drinks. The great luminaries of humanity were all about meeting people's needs, not determining who deserved help. Remember that the next time you hear a politician prattle on. May the poor receive wealth, those weak with sorrow receive joy, and the hopeless receive hope, constant happiness, and prosperity. When one reads this collection of couplets and couplets, triplets, and quatrains, one is struck by just how trenchant and down to earth this is. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all the medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. This does not ignore the fact that we need food to eat and we need to live in cooperation with weather patterns to do so. May all who are sick or ill quickly be freed from their ailments, whatever diseases there are in the world. May they never occur again. Now, of course, a immunologist would say, well, it's safer if they occurred again, because then we have an immunity. But speaking as one before the scientific revolution, we could say his intentions were everyone be healthy and happy. May the frightened cease to be afraid, those bound be freed. May the powerless receive power, and the people long to benefit each other. Let us not forget the people who died during COVID. My partner is an RN, and she told me that the most distressing way to die is from respiratory distress. It's not because people are cowards, it's because of the way we are wired. We are wired so that our amygdala will slap us in the face, metaphorically speaking, if we're not getting enough oxygen. So, as horrible as that is, it's not an indictment on people, it's an indictment on plague. Let us remember that a leading cause of death was not lack of medical care, but people being so selfish that they refused to inconvenience themselves for the needs of others. Let us be defined by love and compassion. Let us offer convenience upon the altar of compassion. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too auspiciously remain to effectively dispel the miseries of the world. So this guy is not imitating Cartman from South Park. He's not saying, screw you guys, I'm going home. No, he's saying, I'm going to endure the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune for the sake of benefiting all beings everywhere, which is a beautiful intention. Before we start this morning's formal practice, let's break for 1 minute of housekeeping. Every day I live stream 4 meditation classes without any advertisements whatsoever, health permitting. If you find value in my teachings, techniques, guided practice, as well as my enthusiasm to answer the Dharma questions you have for me, you type for me in the chat window. If you find value in that, allow me to remind you that with your assistance, this channel could help to support the next generation of nuns, monks, yogis, lamas, and even brick-and-mortar meditation centers, each replete with a resident teacher and their apprentice. If that sounds pretty good to you and you'd like to help out even for as little as the cost of 1 cup of coffee a month, just use your smartphone's camera to capture this QR code. Or if you're old school, simply click one of the donation links in the description area below the video. Today we're going to be practicing from the king of aspirational recitations, the Zongcho Monlam, Samantabhadra's aspiration to good actions, from the 39th or 40th chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutta, translated by the brainy folks at Lotsawa House, with minor adaptations by yours truly. Let us begin with the 7 preliminaries Argandro for purifying the mind. To all the Buddhas, alliance of the human race, in all directions of the universe through past, present, and future. Every single one of you, I bow it. Say two. To every single one of you, I bow in homage, with devotion filling body, speech, and mind. Excuse me. So, because I'm differently abled and am no longer capable of performing Tibetan-style Buddha bowing, instead I practice what I describe as geriatric step-back squat thrusts. And if you want, you can knock out a few repetitions with me, but you do not have to. Well, that was terribly... Oopsie, let's adjust the microphone. That was terribly invigorating, wasn't it? Let's continue. Through the power of this intention, aspiring to good action, may all the victorious ones appear vivid before my mind, and multiply my body as many times as atoms in the universe, each one bowing in gratitude to all the Buddhas. In every atom preside as many Buddhas as there are atoms, and around them all their bodhisattva heirs. And so I imagine them filling completely the entire space of reality, saluting them with an endless ocean of praise, with the sounds of an ocean of different melodies. I sing to the Buddhas, I sing of the Buddha's noble qualities, and praise all those who have gone to perfect bliss. To every Buddha I make offerings of the loveliest flowers, of beautiful garlands, of music and perfect ointments, the best of parasols. The brightest lamps and finest incense, to every Buddha I make offerings. Exquisite garments and the most fragrant scents, powdered incense up as high as Mount Meru, arranged in perfect symmetry. Then the vast and unsurpassed offerings, inspired by my devotion to all the Buddhas, and moved by the power of my enthusiasm for good actions, I bow and offer to all you victorious ones. Whatever harmful acts I have committed while driven by hating, craving, confusion, competition, and clinging, sit as tall as you can. With my body, speech, and mind, and also, with my body, my speech, and also with my mind. Before you I confess and purify each and every one. With a heart full of delight, I rejoice in all the merits of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Prajeka Buddhas. Those training in our hearts beyond training, and every living being throughout the entire universe. You who are like beacons of light shining throughout the worlds, who pass through the stages of enlightenment, to attain Buddhahood, freedom from all the tyranny of attachment. I exhort you, all of you protectors, turn the unsurpassable wheel of Dharma. Beseeching, joining my palms together, I beseech you to who intend to enter parinirvana. Remain for eons as many as the atoms of this world, and bring well-being and happiness to all living beings. What little virtue I have gathered through my homage, through offering, confession, and rejoicing, through exhortation and requesting. All of it I dedicate to the enlightenment of all beings. May offerings be made to the Buddhas of the past, and all who now dwell throughout the 10 directions of this universe. May all who are yet to come swiftly fulfill their wishes, and attain the stages of enlightenment and Buddhahood. May as many worlds as there are in the 10 directions transform into realms that are vast and utterly pure, filled with Buddhas who have sat beneath a mighty Bodhi tree. Around them all the Bodhisattva sons and daughters. May as many sentient beings as there are in the 10 directions live always and forever in happiness and health. So every yellow bit is a recitation of love or compassion. May all beings meet the Buddha's teachings that best benefit them, and may all they hope for be fulfilled. As I practice enlightenment training, may I recall all my previous births, and in my successive lives through death and through rebirth, may I always renounce the worldly life. Training in the footsteps of the victorious Buddhas, may I bring good actions to perfection, and may my moral conduct be taintless and pure, never lapsing, and always be from fault. Remember, the essence of morality is kindness and non-violence. In the language of gods, nagas, and yakshas, in the language of demons and humans too, in however many kinds of languages there may be, may I proclaim the Dharma in the languages of all, taming my mind and striving in the perfections of giving, kindness, patience, zeal, mindfulness, and wisdom. May I never forget the bodhicitta. May all my harmful actions of the obscurations May all my harmful actions and the obscurations of dread and desire they cause be completely purified, every single one. May I be free from karma, negative emotions, and the work of negativity. And act for all beings in the world just like the lotus flower to which neither mud nor water cling. All the sun and moon that course unhindered across the sky. Throughout the reach and range of the entire universe, may I pacify completely the suffering of all the lower realms. And may I lead them all to happiness and work for the ultimate benefit to each and every one. May I bring enlightened action to perfection, meet beings' needs, and teach them to accomplish good actions, continuing this through all aeons to come. May I always meet and be accompanied by those whose actions accord with mine, and in body, speech, and mind, as well. May our aspirations and actions always be as one. May I always meet spiritual friends who long to be of true help to me, and teach me the good actions. May I never disappoint them. May I always behold the Buddhas here before my eyes, and around them all the Bodhisattvas, sons and daughters. Without tiring through all the aeons to come, may the offerings I make them be endless and vast. May I maintain the secret teachings of the Buddhas and cause enlightened action to appear. May I train to perfection in good actions and practice these in each and every age to come. As I wander through all states of samsaric existence, may I gather inexhaustible merit and wisdom, and so become an inexhaustible treasury of noble qualities of skill, discernment, mindfulness, and liberation. In a single atom may I see as many pure lands as atoms in the universe, and in each one Buddhas beyond imagining. Along with them may I perform the actions of enlightenment, and so in each direction, everywhere, even on the tip of a hair. May I see an ocean of Buddhas all to come in past, present, and future. And in an ocean of pure lands through an ocean of aeons. I forgot a conjunction. In an ocean of pure lands and through an ocean of aeons, may I enter into enlightened action in each and every one. Each word of our Buddha speech with its ocean of good qualities bears all the purity of the speech of all the Buddhas. Sounds that harmonize with the minds of all living beings. May I always be engaged with the speech of the Buddhas. With all the power of my mind, may I hear and realize the inexhaustible melody of the teachings spoken by all the Buddhas of the past, present, and future as they turn the wheels of Dharma. And the wisdom of the Buddhas penetrates all future aeons. May I to know them instantly. And in each fraction of an instant may I know all that will ever be in past, present, and future. In an instant may I behold all those who are lions of the human race, of the Buddhas of past, present, and future. May I always be engaged in the Buddha's way of life and action, through the power of liberation, where all is realized as like an illusion. On a single atom may I actually bring about the entire array of pure lands of past, present, and future. And and then enter into those Buddha realms in each atom, in each direction. When those who illuminate the world still to come gradually attain Buddhahood, turn the wheel of Dharma, and demonstrate the final profound peace of Parinirvana, may I always be in the presence. Through the power of swift miracles, the power of the vehicle like a doorway, the power of conduct that possesses all virtuous qualities, the power of loving kindness all pervasive, and the power of merit that is totally virtuous, the power of wisdom free from attachment, and the powers of knowledge, skillful means, and mindfulness. May I perfectly accomplish the power of enlightenment. May I purify the power of karma, destroy the power of harmful emotions, render negativity utterly powerless, and perfect the power of good actions. May I purify oceans of realms, liberate oceans of sentient beings. Oops, let's try that again. May I purify oceans of realms, liberate oceans of sentient beings, understand oceans of Dharma, realize oceans of wisdom, perfect oceans of actions. Fulfill oceans of aspirations and serve oceans of Buddhas, and perform these without ever growing weary for oceans of aeons. All the Buddhas throughout the whole of time attained enlightenment through good actions, and their aspirations and recitations for enlightened action, may I fulfill them all completely. The eldest of the sons of all the Buddhas is called Samantabhadra, all good. I dedicate fully all these merits that I too may act with skill like his, to purify my body, my speech, and my mind, as well to purify my actions in all realms. May I be the equal of Samantabhadra in his skill and good dedication, in order to perform the full virtue of good actions. May I act according to 1jun23's recitations of aspiration, and without ever growing weary in all the aeons to come. May I perfectly fulfill every one of his aims. May all my bodhisattva actions be beyond measure. May my enlightened qualities be measureless as well. Keeping to this immeasurable activity, may I accomplish the miraculous powers of enlightenment. Sentient beings are as limitless as a boundless expanse of space. So shall my recitation of aspiration for them be as limitless as the karma and harmful emotions. Whoever hears this king of aspiration recitation unions for supreme enlightenment, who even once rouses enthusiasm to gain to merit will gain to merit greater still. Then by offering the victorious Buddha's infinite pure lands in every direction, all ornamented in jewels, or offering them all the highest joys of gods and humans for as many aeons as there are atoms in those realms. Whoever truly makes his aspiration to do good actions will never again be born in the lower realms. They will be free from harmful companions and soon behold the Buddha of boundless light. They will acquire all kinds of benefits and live in happiness. Even in this present life, all will go well. And before long, they will become just like Samantha Bandra. All negative actions, even the 5 of immediate retribution, whatever they have committed in the grip of ignorance, will soon be completely purified if they recite this aspiration to good actions. They will possess perfect wisdom, beauty, and excellent signs, be born in a good family and with a radiant appearance. Demons and heretics will never harm them, and the 3 worlds will honor them with offerings. They will quickly go beneath a Bodhi tree, and there they will sit, to benefit all sentient beings and awaken to enlightenment. Turn the wheel of Dharma and tame Mara with all his horns. Okay, one moment, if you please. This is an opportunity for me to do a quick edit. All right, so let's meditate. When our minds feel rambunctious, let's use that energy to play with these 4 contemplations. 3 of these are rhetorical questions, and one of these is simply a compassionate intention. We'll silently and mentally recite the first half as we breathe in, and then silently and mentally receive the second half as we breathe out. When we grow weary of being rambunctious and we feel somewhat restful, as we breathe in, we can feel the play of sensations as silently and mentally we recite feeling this. And as we exhale, we can relax into sensations' non-graspable nature as silently and mentally we recite relaxing. And for the second half of our meditation, we restfully watch the play of mind during our inhalation as silently and mentally we recite, "Notice this." And we relax into mind's non-graspable nature during our exhalation as silently and mentally we recite, "Accepting." The full result of keeping, teaching, or reading this recitation of the aspiration to good actions is known to the Buddhas alone. Have no doubt supreme enlightenment is yours. Just as the Bodhisattva Manjushri attained omniscience and... Take two. Just as the Bodhisattva Manjushri attained omniscience and Samanta Mandrantu. All these merits I now dedicate to train and follow in their footsteps. As all the victorious Buddhas of the past, present, and future praise dedication as supreme. So now I dedicate all these roots of virtue for all beings to perfect good actions. When it is time for me to die, may all that obscures me fade away. So I look on Amitabha there in person and go at once to his pure land of Sukhavati. In that pure land may I actualize every single one of all these aspirations. May I fulfill them each and every one and bring help to all beings as long as the universe remains. Born there in a beautiful lotus flower in that excellent, joyous, pure land. May the Buddha Amitabha himself grant me the prophecy foretelling my enlightenment. Having received that prophecy, that with my brilliance of emanation sent out through the power of mind, may I bring enormous benefit to all sentient beings in the 10 directions. Through whatever small virtues I have gained by reciting this aspiration to good actions, may the virtuous wishes of all beings, recitations, and aspirations all be instantly accomplished. Through the true and boundless merit attained by dedicating this aspiration to good actions, may all drowning in the ocean of suffering reach the supreme pure land of Amitabha. May this King of aspirations bring about the supreme aim and benefit of all infinite sentient beings. May they perfect what is described in this special aspiration uttered by Samanta Mantra. May the lower realms be entirely emptied. If you feel I have earned it, type something in the chat window, give this live stream a thumbs up, and share it on social media. In approximately 2.5 hours, I would very much like to return to lead to lead today's mid-morning meditation. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.